Hello, everybody. Do well to invite your friends, invite your family, invite market watchers, invite smart investors. Tell them Market Watch is live. Market Watch is live. So last week, Monday, during Market Watch, we called for an upward continuation for the price of Bitcoin. And on Wednesday, we're here where we did an upward, an update analysis, and we called some interior level Bitcoin is about to test, which include about 21K, 22K, then 25K, which will get us into an all-time high. And what happened? Upward continuation began, after Monday last week, and after Wednesday update analysis that we're calling for a new interim level. The price kept going upward, but as at yesterday, Bitcoin did hit and a new all-time high, just like we called. But the big question now that Bitcoin has officially hit a new all-time high is what happens next? What happened next? And in this episode of Market Watch with Gilbert Joekpata, I'm going to break down the three market events you should watch out for as a smart investor and also a market watcher. And also, we're going to give you we'll share data driven market forecast. Nobody calls the market better than we do right here. And just like I'll ask you, we gave you 16, 17K as the bottom of the last bull market. We did. We gave you 24K at the beginning of the bull run. We did. Who called the move to a new all-time high at that time? We did. We called almost every move the market has made, either to the upside, either to the downside. Who at 110K called for a short-term bear market to 76K? We did. Who was it that 76K said we're going to have an upward continuation, afterwards, that will lead us to a new all-time high? We did, and that all played out, and just like 2 weeks ago, we went ahead to host a particular event. This was more like an exiting the bull market like a pro. It was a crypto investment blueprint, class webinar. Well, at that time, many persons were saying, look, the market has stopped. The market has stopped. We came out again to say the market has not stopped. But of course, you're not investing early at this point. We went ahead, also showed you what we're buying, let you also know levels you could buy at, and that is why we always do what we do here. If you want to create short-term cash flow as a trader, you want to assess, trade setup, signals, analysis, education, the Smart Investors Lodge is your one-stop shop, to get all of this done. So if you have been following us so far, one reason why we got you very early into the bull market is so you could make the most of it. If you make money as an investor in riding the trend early, and when everybody thinks, oh, it's a smart thing to start buying, you are leaving the market. That's what it is for. So if you have been following this bull market, you have been following analysis, this session will help you understand where the market is heading to, what's driving Bitcoin momentum, how to position yourself as well for it. And so without further ado, first of all, you know how we always do it. If you're watching us live, go to the comment section and type live. Include where you're watching us live from. If you're watching us live from YouTube, say live YouTube. If you're watching us live from X, say live X. It keeps us, engaged. It let us know what's happening in your mind. Also, if you have some questions, feel free, let me in the comment section. I will do my best. I'll do my best to see if I could make this an under 15-minute session. So let's take a bet. Let's see if I could make this happen. So without diving into the three market events, we are watching out for a smart investor. Top analyst is happening today. Old Chronos scan sunset. So according to Chronos, we're gonna say goodbye to Chronos scan. So Chronos then become the Canoica Explorer plus API. So you have to watch your system. It's going to impact the analytic on Chronos. So let me explain what this means. So the old Chronos is the old blockchain for Chronos. Crow. Some of you hold this asset called Crow. Crow, CRO. Many of you hold this asset. So their old Chronos scan is about to be sunset, which means they are leaving their old blockchain and moving into a new blockchain that they are built. So what does this mean for you, who is not just invested in Crow, but you have your Crow, stake. It's a good thing. It's a good thing as a smart investor that you migrate to the new network. This made a list happening today for Crow. It's happening today for Crow, but of course, this is also a catalyst, longer term, because this is an update in the ecosystem. You're going to also have staking and DeFi protocol coming all in into their new blockchain. And then last but not the least, not last in our list, second on our third market event we're watching out for is happening on Thursday. Initial jobless claim. And on Thursday happens to be my birthday. Thursday is my birthday. Thursday is my birthday. This just came to my mind. It just hits me when I saw 9th of October. So second on our initial jobless claim. This is so important, and I'm going to do a bit to explain it for you. So first of all, the forecast expectation is 223K. And then, it's against the previous data of 218K. So this is a key indicator. So the US, it signals US economic strength, potential ripple effect as well. It gives ripple effect term also, to crypto sentiment and also stock market sentiment. So let me explain what this means. There's always one I will say there's no how you follow us at Smart Invest Lord. You don't get educated about the market because we do our best to break down, words, technical terms that we always use. So initial jobless claims, the amount of people who go to claim earnings because they have no job. Initial jobless claim US is a macro data. It's a macro data that shows the number of people that have no job claims money. So what happens is that if there are more persons out of job, investors think this is not a great thing to invest in the dollar. You understand? Imagine that you're investing in Dangote, and Dangote has a lot of persons who they are leaving their jobs, like they have no jobs and fired. That's what's happening. So the United States is an empire. The United States as a business, the number of persons who have no job for claim shows that the economy is not strong. It shows that the labor strength is not strong, and also affects sentiment of investors. Like this, that investors have been in the government bonds and yield. At this point, they are looking for their risk appetite is high. The moment they see that, especially since the forecast we are expecting is that there's going to be more unemployed persons going to get claims, you just are like, this economy does not really look strong. Let me move my money somewhere else. There's something I've always said for those of you. Money always move from where it's treated less to where it's treated best. That's how it works. So the moment money is being treated less in some kind of place, there'll be a liquidity flow to where it's being treated best. So when you look at the of where the market is, the cryptocurrency market is, the stock market is hitting all-time high also. Gold also hitting all-time high. So investors at this time will start moving into where money is treated best and not where it's treated less. Then, last but not the least, happening also is linear token unlock. So linear is having a token unlock. So linear is set to unlock about 6.7% of his token. This is major, about 6.7%, because typically like a 1.2, 2 point something, but we're having about a 6.5%. So expect some short-term volatility as a smart investor, my friends. Monitor the market, So especially for those of you who trade the news, whether you're trading the initial jobless claim or linear, I'm not. What I do in most cases is I anticipate and trade. Anticipate. Everybody is so smart in doing stuff like this, But what I'll advise for everybody who wants to trade the news, what happens is that you wait until the news. Is out. Once the news is out, you factor the given sentiment and the flow. I know so many times we always anticipate. We do our news reactions. We position where ahead of time, but I'm not trading any of it. For those of you who will, if we're gonna trade any of this, those of you who are the Smart Investors Launch Premium channel will know you're gonna see our trade setup You see our trade for this new week, and then you could take the trade. I and my team of market analysts. Meanwhile, just like we say, if you're watching us live, good to know you're watching me live. Mrs. Mrs. Sampson is watching live. Happy New Week, Smart Investor, and Happy New Week, the Smart Educator, to you too as well. Let me know wherever you're watching us from, my friends. Let me know wherever you're watching us from. The Smart Investors family. You know, we're quite the growing family. So do well. So let us know where you're watching us live from. Let us know the state and country also you represent. Let us know your state and country. So if you're watching us live, go to the comment section and say you're watching us live. Just type live. If you're watching, say live. You're watching from YouTube. If you're watching live from X, say live X. And feel free as well. Let us know where you're watching from, your state and also your country. And if you also have questions in regards to what's happening in the market, feel free. Use the comment section, and we're gonna do well. We're gonna do well, to respond to you. So, Mr. Joseph says GM. Yeah, Joseph. Rise and grind, Mr. Joseph. So let's do a little bit of some technicals. I give myself a time. I give myself a time. We're gonna leave here. So let's see. Let's do a very brief technicals. All of us all together. So last week on Monday while we're here, we're able to show you where we think the market is after that bounce, show some double bottom. And typically, when the market has hit a particular bottom, typically strong, which also leads to some upward continuation. And of course, just like we anticipated, let me see if my screen can be seen. Meanwhile, if you are watching me unable to access screen share, what's going on? What's going on? They say I can't share my screen. Let's do this again. You can see my screen also. Use the section and let me know you can see my friends. Who can see my screen? Okay. I can see my own screen now. If you can see mine, I can see mine. So let's do some very brief technicals together. So this is the 1 week. So first of all, there's one thing I want you to know. 1 week close in Bitcoin history. This is the highest 1 week close in Bitcoin history that closed at over 125K. So this was history being made. This was actually it. So we actually anticipated two things. So if you notice, the market structure is still intact. Those of you who have been with us from when we showed the inverted head and shoulder, I told you, look, this is a bullish structure. There is nothing bearish here about the market. And all that happened was that after an upward continuation, we became range bound. And so what we'll be looking out for is resistance, touch support, and all of that. And last week we showed you the double bottom, the double bottom starting that week. This was the 1 week that. So we spotted this that an entire week there was going to be enough. We anticipated all-time high retest, test that resistance, and they draw us to this level. This was what we anticipated afterwards. So, and we noticed after we hit the all-time high, we started the retest. But something is changing in the market, and that's why I'm really having to do this. There's strong volume coming into the market, and not just strong volume as well coming into the market. Selling pressure is reducing. So do we think at this point that we're going to have innovation like sell-off? Will the sell-off continue? At this point, I really think no. At this point, I think no. Even though, like we anticipated together, for Bitcoin to have a more continuous surge, there is supposed to be a sell-off for us to have a continuous surge, like a most sustained and continuous surge. I'm expecting that after we tested this new all-time high, a sell-off to build momentum for a bigger upward continuation. But look at something. We closed all, and the sell pressure said, but so far volume is still coming in. So what do I think is going to happen at this? What do I think is going to happen at this point? I still think that Bitcoin has some upside to still test entering this new week. We have some upside to still test, and then if we are going to have a sell off afterwards, we'll do an upward update analysis if there is going to be a sell off afterward. But whatsoever institution is responsible at this moment for this surge should know, they should know, except they understand as many persons were anticipating the sell-off. So they should know at this point that they need to bring in more fear into the market. Because I think many persons were calling the top, the top, the top. Most of them at this point they are like this is a bull trap, bull trap, bull trap. So they are supposed to be like, yeah, we told you we're right, we told you we're right. So typically what we try to do here at the Smart Investors Lodge is to also price in psychological analysis. We try to price in, we've always priced in what are market makers doing, what are institutions doing, how are retailers thinking, what's Jerome Powell next steps. So we are trying to anticipate what these three persons are thinking, and then we understand macroeconomics will influence institutions. Institutions will take retailers out. Smart retailers will go alongside with the flow. You understand? But so far, what we're seeing is that why this double bottom led us to the resistance here, which we did call, and we created an all-time high. We're anticipating a drawdown will start beginning, right? A drawdown will begin, but with the volume entering into the market, I think that in a matter of this, we're going to break out of this. We're going to break out of this like a zone for us to clear before the market will make more decisive decision. But looking into the market myself, to anticipate beyond I'm totally in support for the market to have a retest. I'm totally in support. I am very, very totally in support the market has a retest afterwards, because the more we continue from here upwardly, blast through its resistance. And that is why we're having a sustained bull market. We're having a sustained bull market because each time Bitcoin creates an all-time high, it gets there, have a retest downward. But if you've been through previous bull market cycle, I've been in the market for over half a decade. What one thing I've always noticed is that the moment we got to this new resistance and we blasted, pa, 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 heads 140, 150, it's game over. It's always game over. Like that breakup top, so when many persons are saying, this bull market is really different, this bull market is different, we've been telling you this bull market is going to be different since 124k, since 24k. We've said this is going to be a different bull market. Don't expect everything to go up. We've always told you this. Don't expect everything to go up. We've also told you this is going to be the most prolonged and sustained bull market. So if we're going to have a more prolonged and sustained bull market, what do you think is going to be the catalyst? We're going to have some breakup top? No, there wouldn't be a breakup top. Like, we're going to be there anyway, and we're close to getting that breakup top, before we wind down. We're close. So I don't think that, that retest that I hope happen. I honestly hope that retest. We're kind of volume entering into the market. I don't see that retest. We're going to break out. We're going to break out of. Someone say my chat. Why? isn't my chart clear? Who else can see? Who else can see my chart? Background. Should I change my background? I had to choose because at some point some persons were saying this was not clear. And that was okay. This is something else I'll ask you to do. Do well to zoom in. This is if you're watching from YouTube, you can zoom in. All you have to do is zoom in. You could zoom in and see clearly, everything I'm talking about. So these are my expectations. Let me highlight this. Let me see if it's this color. So these are my expectation. I expect some momentum to break out. Will break resistance. We are heading towards the 126, 127, 126, 127. Afterwards, whatever decision could do an update analysis when we watch volume, when we watch if an upward continuation happens there, or since this place becomes, if we break out, this becomes the new support. So we're going to know if we will range between the support or we'll break out of the support. We will do an update analysis, but so far with the momentum we have, I think that we still have some a little bit of more resistance to go test before probably we have a retest that, and personally for me, this is a good retest zone. This is another retest zone. I think when we test this level, I don't think we're going to test here anymore. Likelihood of test support and resistance numbers, they are zones. So it's a very good support zone. I think that if we test, have you noticed where if you want to spring, it bounces to take you off. But then there is some volume fluctuation. Likelihood we're going to test, we turn this resistance to some support level before upward continuation, or we test here. So this is my time right here with you, my friends. What else do I have for you all? Let me see the time to play this between. I can't see time. My time here is not showing. So let me take some greetings, from all of you. Samson watching from the city of Kaduna. Great to know, beautiful city of Kaduna. Uh, and then Transhumanist Network. Oh, great having you, man. I keep studying much about transhuman technology, so great having a transhumanist here. I'm a student of your science, and great having you anyway. And I don't even mind getting to know you better and dive more deeper into what the transhuman science, are trying to achieve with someone who is in the transhuman community. Okay, Samson could hear us clearly. GM, Edu Crypto, GM. The best said GM. Okay, it was the best saying the chat was not clear. So, like I said, anybody who was watching and the chat was not clear, go zoom in. But one thing I'm going to do is I'll try to change my background, my chat background, in our next chat. But I'm glad that like network did not disturb us during this week's market wash. And Adigun, I keep seeing Adigun. Great having you here. Samson said it was clear. Oh, good. Samson could see my chart. Can you do an Ethereum analysis? I wish I could, but I was trying to see if we could have a below 16 15 minutes, but we're getting up to 24 minutes. So this is what we're going to do for those of you who are expecting Ethereum analysis and other asset analysis. This is what I will ask of you. Do well. Follow us on our X and also on Discord. We're going to drop an analysis on Ethereum and other crypto assets. Do well to follow. So if you find out what those assets are going to do next, that's the right place you should be. And more like an announcement. Thanks to everyone who made sure they were part of our life with XT. It's because of you the Smart Investors Lodge exists, and the winners for that live session is going to be out in no time. So Some of you here may be the winner of the $200, and those of you also who engaged by asking question, you also have a $100 voucher. Like I said, there are lots of amazing, benefits that you have to gain trading on XT. XT, you know, is like catering for traders. They have their eye on what traders are doing. So if you're yet to register on XT, just go through the description in this video. Go to the description. You're gonna see our official link for XT. Once you register, most of all this freebie that XT has in place for us, you could also benefit from it. Yeah, we are the official partners for XT, so do well to register. We also have a beginner's guide to cryptocurrency. If you want to understand what cryptocurrencies are and ways you could make money, right also in the description of this video. We are very big on free education. And then I think something else before I call it a day is, our exit the bull market like a pro. After we held that webinar, that bull market was not over. We showed you what we're buying. We gave you a too crazy to believe offer. So, if you want to know what we're buying, our bull run peaks, if you want to know our exit strategy, you want to know what we're buying, you want to assess spot and futures trading signals, some of you always see our trade results. When it comes to calling the market, no one calls the market better than us anyway. And our trade results monthly are public. So for anybody who wants to trade what we're trading, you want to as well see what we're buying as traders when we're selling. Also, you also have access to our crypto trading and investment course. Also, a direct question could ask our analyst any question, they'll be more than willing to answer. So typically, the normal price is always $60 per month and $459 to access all of this, annually. But like I said, I'm going to be doing much of trading and also teach a lot of person about trading. So this is our next phase, as community. And I really think I've done so much for the community so far, from calling the top of the previous bull market, calling the bottom of the bear market, identifying 24K as the beginning of the bull run. We started last year with giving you 5 assets, that will give you gains. And these 5 assets in 3 months did over 5,000% profit. And so far, we've always let you know the bull run is not over. And it was my view that one last thing I owed the community was that webinar. And I think I've done everything I should do. For those of you who want to make the most of this bull run, I've done my best. I've really done my best for you guys all through. And while I'm preparing to exit the market, I just think one last thing I could do for most persons who maybe you were in the premium channel or want to access the premium channel beyond accessing our trading signals. Also, you want to know what we're buying for this bull run. You want to know our interim entry levels. You want to know our exit level at the same time. You want to have access to me and other experts in our team. This is so good an offer. I think you should pick. So instead of instead of $60 per month, or $459 annually, just for $69, you could access, the Smart Investors Launch Premium channel, for an entire year. And our goal is so you could cover the bull run. We want to make sure we carry everybody along. And so take this offer. I don't know, my team were telling me this is going to end today. Is it today or tomorrow? If there's anybody on the team, you let me know either this is ending either today or tomorrow. Do your best, take advantage of this, and I hope to see you on the inside. And I really hope you got value on today's market watch. And should we do a recap, a little bit of a recap of what we're expecting for the three market events? We're expecting Kronos is moving from their old blockchain to their new blockchain today. And on Thursday, which happens to be my birthday's initial jobless claim. And on Friday, Linear is having a token unlock. And our expectation for BTC is that we call the move to the new all-time high. And when we got to this all-time high, one thing we were expecting was that there was going to be a correction. But with the kind of volume entering into the market, we think that we're going to break the particular resistance and turn it into a support. Probably test even that 26 or 27 before probably the market decides its direction. I'm going to take a side. I think probably we should be going to the downside to build momentum for an upward continuation. So if you got value, who got value, you let me know. And this is my time right here on Market Watch, where we bring you the three market events you should watch out for, and also bring you price forecast, and where nobody calls the market better than we do. I'm going to see you next time, same day, 9 a.m. this time. Thanks everyone. Thanks everyone for coming around.